Recording in progress. All right. If you would allow, of course, I was wondering if I could start this with a monologue.
Absolutely. So let's
Good.
start. Jawn Films episode 16. Um, Big show. We have a lot of shit to talk about, but we're going to hand the intro off to Zack.
Passing the proverbial microphone. There's a little something on my chest. We're gonna get into it, but I feel if I get it off my chest now, it'll help my blood pressure throughout the episode. So I don't know if any of you know this, but my birthday recently just came and went. Whoop-de-doo. I don't
Did it?
Yeah, I did. I don't fucking care. But um if
Happy
any of
birthday.
you fuck off. If any of you were potentially thinking about any last minute gift ideas, I have one. The CEO of Warner Bros., David Zaslav. I'd like him right here at my house, right now. The big fucking ribbon on his head. I want to look him straight in the eye and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten, poor-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-pissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is. Happy fucking birthday, holy cock-sucking shit. Where's the Tylenol? All right, I'm good.
Jesus Christ.
My hand's shaking a little bit here. Okay, we're
Okay,
good.
so
We're
so the
good.
reason that I don't know, we'll just get right into the news. This all stems from um Warner Brothers has decided to start gutting all of the Turner Classic Movies veteran leaderships, and in
Yes.
specifically CEO David Zaslav. Layoffs included much of their veteran leadership, from executive VP and general manager, senior VP of programming and content strategy, VP of brand creative and marketing, the VP of enterprise and strategic partnerships, who is also the director of the annual Turner Classic Movies Film Festival, and the VP of studio production. Um, so these cuts came as Zaslav was basically going off what he considers his rosary, which is he wants Warner Brothers to be a studio for filmmakers, and he wants to build bridges with directors who were burned after the previous regime of Jason Kilar. Kilar responded to the pandemic with the unilateral day and date releases onto HBO Max. So it's kind of hard to make a studio for filmmakers when you're gutting most filmmakers' favorite TV channel, and is the only TV channel that is dedicated to celebrating cinematic history. So because of that, Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, and Paul Thomas Anderson have decided to team up for an emergency call with Warner Brothers CEO to protest this layoff. And on top of all of that, I just saw before getting onto this podcast that Warner Brothers is now in talks to sell half the studio, film, and TV music publishing assets for $500 million. Sony is in the lead to acquire all of these music rights, and the music includes music from Purple Rain, Rent, and multiple Batman films.
I I mean we can both kind of sniff out the irony here, can't we?
Yeah.
A guy talking about building bridges when all he's done since he's gotten to where he's gotten is burn bridges,
Correct. And
specifically with uh Chris Nolan.
yes, they say they
Who
are still in hopes to acquire him
Yeah.
back.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but Martin
They made a
Scorsese left a quote out there. He released a quote that he said, oftentimes he has Turner Classic Movies on all day in the background while he's editing his own films. He said it gives me something to turn on and bounce off of, to rest in, to reinvigorate my thinking. Just glancing at some image or combination of images at a certain moment. It's more of like a presence in the room and a reminder of film history as a living, ongoing entity.
Yeah, so um obviously, as you mentioned, the David Zaslav, or Zaslav the Destroyer, as he's more affectionately known, the snake bastard of Warner Bros. Is back at it again, baby.
He's becoming a
And
cartoon, like he's becoming a comic book villain at this point.
he is, and not the kind that I like to root for.
No,
But like you said, all the gutting of basically the head, shoulders, knees, and toes at TCM. Everyone you just mentioned getting cut, I think, respectively. Um, you said their positions, their names respectively are Paula Changnon, Charles Tebesh, Genevieve McGillicuddy, Dexter Feder, and Ann Wilson. So you're effectively cutting off the head of the snake, but you're also cutting off the arms and legs, uh, and part of the tail of the snake, which I guess technically makes it, it made it briefly a lizard.
you're cutting off
So
everything but the head and the
you're
heart.
not, these are not easily replaceable positions, is what I'm saying.
And for people that have been a part of Turner Classic Movies for ever, basically.
Yeah. Um, and I mean, this doesn't come as a surprise if you've read anything or know anything about Zaslav the Destroyer, but this comes directly after Zaslav made an appearance at the classic TCM festival that you mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm. The one
which
that
took place just back in April. So
yep,
this is less than 2 months ago.
yep. So Steven Spielberg and Paul Thomas Anderson, the reason they are teaming up with Martin Scorsese is because both of them were in attendance in person at the film festival.
Right. So shortly after, um, he the old snake oil salesman shows up here with his mask on. He was alongside and he was alongside PTA and Spielberg, who were both there. And according to Jeremy Smith of SlashFilm.com, committed to protection and restoration of his own studio's massive movie library, and expressed a deep admiration for the cinephile fave cable channel that holds this annual event. So 2 months after that, you've effectively lined up I mean, the highest order of cinephiles you could possibly think of. Lined them against a wall and shot them. Not unlike that. Um, I'm not going to say that. You know what I'm talking about. If you have been following the news at all, I'm not going to give that any more attention. But I mean, this also came after these firings came directly after Zaslav the Destroyer made a pitch to Nolan about coming back to Warner Bros. And he also they paid him a 7-figure bonus for his services on Tenet. So I now expecting there to be a negative 50% chance that Nolan even considers going back to Warner Bros. After hearing this.
There's no
If you
chance.
know anything about Nolan, you know he's a cinephile. I would expect when Denis Villeneuve is done with Dune, I would expect him to probably want out of Warner Bros. As well. But I hope Nolan doesn't just say no. I hope he puts a hook in Zaslav's mouth, casts him out into the ocean so he can be with all the other billionaires. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's uh, a few dead billionaires next to the Titanic right now. I didn't know if I
James and
should break that down.
James Cameron will personally deliver Zaslav to the bottom of the ocean because he's been there 33 times.
Yep. So I would also like James Cameron to go down there and raise the bar again, because God knows we need it. Absolute travesty. Both the fact that those people went on that uh, pin bucket for $250,000 and the fact that Zeslav just did what he did to TCM. They're all fucking idiots. I don't mean to insult the dead here, but we all saw the video of the two-star elevator that they were in. Was that
Their
really going to end
toilet,
any other way? Come on.
their toilet was a Ziploc bag in a bucket with a lid. And they had
Yeah,
one
I
they had
believe the vehicle
one
will
button.
tighten.
They had two computer monitors, two keyboards, and one PlayStation 2 controller.
Logitech controller. I don't want to mix words here.
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't a PlayStation 2 controller. It was a Logitech PlayStation 2 USB knockoff.
Which I know it didn't run out of batteries because I believe it has a power cable.
Yep, but
And if
they
you know anything
advertised it
about
as Bluetooth.
Logitech controllers, they're like Nokia phones. So, I mean, literally spared no expense. They went John Hammond with this fucking thing.
Yes.
But prayers up, or I guess prayers down, depending on how you want to look at it. But we are not a deep sea exploration podcast. We're a film podcast.
But if you
And
guys listening would like us to be a deep sea exploration podcast, we'll learn all about it. We'll do whatever we need to do. But
we'll learn how to
you will still get movie news and stuff like that. But we'll also talk about deep sea.
tie nautical knots.
Yeah.
And
We'll be nautical boys.
yep, I'm gonna learn how to do sea bondage. That'll be very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, all this. I don't expect Nolan to go back now. I don't know what Spielberg. I mean, you can't. I don't think you could physically find anyone more prestigious in the director or film community than a trio like Paul Thomas Anderson, Steven Spielberg, and Martin Scorsese. That being said, I'm not really sure that there's a whole lot that they can accomplish of note unless
They can
like
probably
unless they unfire.
convince.
They would have to unfire everybody
No, but they can
because I would imagine they're
convince.
just in disarray right now.
They convince all filmmakers to just not associate themselves with Warner Brothers.
I mean, that would be the ideal. That would
They're
be the
gonna.
ideal situation.
This is basically Scorsese, Spielberg, and Paul Thomas Anderson. They're basically forming their own Avengers team of filmmakers, and it's just going to be
It's a
eventually
lethal coalition.
it's going to be all of these filmmakers versus like the Thanos at Warner Brothers. It's just going to be all filmmakers versus David Zaslav, and I'm actually kind of fired up for it.
Yes, but in this situation, I'm not actively rooting for Thanos as I
No,
was in those movies because I didn't care about any of the Avengers. Maybe that says
but
more about me than it says about anyone else, but I don't care. This is a particular villain I would like to see go down, like Stalin or Hitler or LeBron.
are you putting him up there with the three of them?
I'm putting him a notch below them and two notches below LeBron.
Okay.
It's really frustrating not to be able to enjoy basketball until he retires. But again, this is not a sports slash war crime all-time leaders podcast. This is a film podcast.
You would actually have to put LeBron on the same category as David Zaslav, because if I'm correct, then the movie LeBron was in, isn't that from Warner Brothers?
Yes,
And didn't they push that very hard?
they did, which is why he's in my book he's two rungs above Zeslav and one rung above Stalin and Hitler because he made one of the worst movies and most unenjoyable movies, uh, cash grab pieces of unholy shit I've ever seen, and he actively supported uh, um, organ stealing in China or something.
Interesting.
Organ harvesting, I believe that's what it was called.
Okay.
LeBron fascist.
Ah, okay.
And he's
Well,
also turned basketball into a fucking flop fest. I can't watch it.
yes. Yes.
And I'm the
But like you
biggest
said, we are
fan in
not
the
a
world.
political podcast. We are not a nautical
Nope.
podcast. We are not
I think
we are under the umbrella of a sports podcast, but we, the two of us on this show, are a film podcast. But when everything kind of ties in like this and connections can be made, we'll talk about it.
we're a film podcast, much like ECM is a purely film channel. And it's more than a channel too. It's more of a
Ecosystem.
it's like how do I
It's a
word this?
culture.
It's it's like a national treasure when when
It's a
people say
museum.
we have to protect him at all costs or something.
It's the
Um,
Smithsonian for films.
how would I? Yeah. Um, I have it in here somewhere. How did I word it? Oh boy, can never
No,
organize these notes good enough.
it's tough.
It's gone,
It's a
man.
tough day.
It's just gone.
It's a tough couple
Did I
days,
delete it?
especially with the upcoming release of Barbie on the same day of Oppenheimer. So
It,
if Barbie was leading in projected box office, I don't think that will be the case much longer.
well, this is. I'll tell you this. This is the only time that I will actively root against Gosling.
Yeah.
There are just there are bigger fish to fry right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't exactly have Barbie on like my must-watch films. It who knows, it might end up being like a giant poignant metaphor or something. But I kind of hope it's just a shallow, shitty movie.
I would like that. And Christopher
Although
Nolan's
my
Oppenheimer to
issue
just
with that would
literally
be,
blow everybody's mind.
yeah, if my issue with both of those possibilities with it, either if it's like a poignant metaphor and it's actually like a brilliant movie, then I think it's probably gonna bomb. If it's a shallow, um, shitty cash grab, then I think it's gonna do really well. So that just
Interesting.
says more about what people go to see these days. So it's interesting to see we're a month away, and um, I'm I'm team I'm team Hiroshima. That's a bit of a
Okay.
no that I'm team Oppenheimer, but that would be way too easy to say.
Team
I'm team Nuke.
Team A Bomb.
I'm team Little Boy with Jared Fogle.
There we go.
You can try, you can spin that however you want, but the facts are in front of you. Google it.
You are
Google the
team.
name of the bomb. You Enola Gay.
All right. Well, and in other news,
Go ahead.
there has been a little change to the way that the Best Picture nominees at the Oscars will be nominated, or eligibility. Anyway,
Does
so the
this have
Academy,
something to do with streaming?
no,
No.
maybe. So the
Maybe.
Academy announced that Oscars Best Picture nominees must air in 10 major cities uh, to qualify.
What qualifies as a major city?
Uh, so here it is. Top 50 cities to be eligible for Best Picture, opposed to just LA and New York. So they will get those to, based off ratings or whatever in the top 50 cities across the country. They will get the top 10. They have to be in those top 10.
Splendid.
For international films, qualifying non-US markets, including the top 15 international theatrical markets, plus the home territory of the film, to be
Okay,
qualified
so if
for a Best Picture. So they don't. So international films don't have to air in top 10 major cities in 10 of the 50 major cities in the United States. They have to qualify and be in the top 15 international theatrical markets, plus the initial home territory of the film.
so here's a question. Say an international film blows up here, but bombs in its home country, would it then be ineligible? Loopholes, loopholes.
That is a tough one. It said nothing about that,
Like say Parasite bombed in Korea.
but
Would we not even
was
know
in
it?
all 50 cities in across the country.
Yes.
Well, then I don't think that would
Sorry, Bong.
be.
Sorry, Bong.
I don't think that would be then considered an international film.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't, it wasn't made here. By definition, it is an international film. It was produced and made internationally. So would they just end up saying, fuck you?
Yes, but it was a
You
mass
are no
release,
longer
wasn't it?
Oscar eligible because your own country turned your back on you.
Wasn't it a mass release into all countries and not just a release like over in the
Yeah. And it blew up. I mean, it did well in Korea and everywhere else. But it's a
I guess
hypothetical
that's
question.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, Parasite fucking
I don't think
did
that
great
one
everywhere.
counts because like it didn't bomb anywhere. It I don't know. I feel like that one's just a tough one to answer because Parasite
It's a
hasn't bombed.
question. No, but it is a question because I know Blonde bombed here, but it did really well internationally. So I wonder if there was an Oscars overseas, if these same rules applied, if that would then negate it.
Well, Blonde
Something to think about.
See, Blonde's also tough because Blonde also bombed really hard at my house, but it popped off at yours.
I wouldn't say it popped off here, but
It did
I
adequate.
I definitely saw a lot more in it than you saw. But I mean that's a fish to fry for another day. Um, I don't have a whole lot of I have quite a few fish around me right now, as do uh, uh fi quite a few billionaires in the ocean.
Yeah, you have a lot of fish around them.
Indeed,
Ton
you
of
don't see
fish.
those fish imploding under the pressure.
No.
How does that work? We're not a science
Uh,
podcast, but I am posing
so
scientific questions. Why do fish not implode at that depth, but a submarine with a tiny hole does? Or people do?
because we
I don't
can't
understand.
breathe water. Like we can't like breathe in the water like the fish can.
I mean, we could breathe it in, we can't breathe it back out.
I
Why
don't
do we
think
blow up?
fish
Why do we implode when we go that to those types of
fish
depths? These are
because
questions for James Cameron.
fish don't need oxygen, like
Well, they need
pure
the oxygen you
oxygen
get from the water.
and air. They don't need air to survive, whereas humans do.
Yeah, but why do we blow up or blow in when we go down to those depths? I don't understand it.
Well, I don't think we so okay, here's why. So the reason the Titanic didn't implode is because one, it was broken in half. So
So
it had
if you were to saw
so it
me in
had
half
so it
and
had
bring me to those depths,
doors.
I'd be all right.
Yes, because our own we have two. Okay, we have a butthole, but then
Yeah.
we have like a mouth, a nose, and ears. So we have like other means of like air to escape out of. So
So
when you're
say,
that,
let's just
so
say
when you're down that,
hypothetically.
so hypothetically, when you're down that deep and it's just you in there, so okay,
Yeah.
I'll explain what happened inside of this submarine today.
Yeah. Can I just hypothetically, if I went down there with a butt plug, then
You'll explode, but you won't really explode. I'll explain how. Okay, so the
but most people
submarine,
don't have a butt plug when they go to depths like that.
if you taped your mouth and your
Done.
nose and your ear
Ready.
holes and your butthole and your pee hole, and you blocked
This would have to
all,
be gorilla tape.
yep, you blocked all aspects of everything off, but somehow you were still able to like breathe, you would just then float to the top.
I don't think you'd float to the top with the
Yes.
all that pressure pounding down on you from the water.
So
You
what
can't float
happened
back up from
was
those depths.
there was a small hole in this thing, not too big,
This is John
but
Street science.
so all of the air pressure was all of the oxygen in the air was trying to escape through that little hole, right? All of the air was pushing up through that hole.
Oh, can I relate to that?
So it was all coming up into that hole. So what happened was the first instinct, and it all happened in like millisecond, like hundredth of milliseconds. Like it was just that quick. There was no pain, no nothing. First thing that happened was their eardrums popped, gone. And
Good
because of
feeling.
that, that you pass out right away with that pressure and that pain, pop out.
No,
And
I
then,
wouldn't.
yes,
I'm
you
built
would.
different.
So
No, 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 I wouldn't.
because of the pressure down there, all of the air at that is trying to escape upwards. Same thing with your body. All of your air is pushing upwards. All of the air in your blood, all of the air in your body, and it flattened your lungs.
So say I had like a massive fart
So
and I just
be,
held it in,
so then
and it just
because of
held up
all of
all that surface area
yep,
inside of me.
so because of all of the air in your blood and all that stuff expelled through your mouth and crushed your lungs, all the blood or all the water went directly into your bones, made you dense. So that's why they're not floating up.
Right.
So the
So
reason, so
say,
basically, so the reason that the Titanic sunk and didn't implode was one, it was ripped in half, but two, even if it didn't rip in half, there's doors, there's windows, there's all this kind of stuff to just let the inside air just kind of like make its own way out naturally instead of all it will in all different kind of directions instead of all trying to force itself out of one little pee hole in the wall in this guy's Pringles can that he decided to take four other people down to the bottom of the ocean. And
so say I went down in one of those human-sized hamster balls.
okay,
Could I just chill down there?
how heavy is
The
your
hole is
hamster ball?
plugged. One of those human-sized ones that people like run into each other with and bounce apart.
I need to know how dense that
All right, let's say for the sake of the argument, um, it's DAF. It's dense as fuck.
does it have a motor to where you could
Super fucking
propel
dense.
yourself down.
Um, doesn't have a motor
Would it
because
be heavy
I
enough to
think
just
that would be a
drop
ripping hazard.
heavy
There's an
enough to
anchor
just
on a ship.
drop
There's an
to the
anchor on a
bottom,
ship, and it's tethered to that anchor,
and
and it
that's
lowers
dropping
me
you
down.
down to the bottom?
It's dropping me down.
Okay, because you just hang around down there.
I just chill down there and just
Do
say hi
you
to some
have
fishes.
do you have a like one of those
No, I have a goal for going
captain?
down. I'm
Do you have
trying
one
to
of
go
those
down
like
there.
do you have one of those like Captain Cutler helmets?
No, because I'm inside the hamster ball.
Okay, well, you need
That's where I'm getting.
so the pressure of the
I don't have
water.
much air. I'm just breathing CO2 after
Okay,
a little while anyway, so I have
so
to
you need
conserve
to
my air.
figure out the pressure of the water at that depth.
Pressure as fuck.
Okay. And then you need to
Ball's dense
know
as fuck, and
you
the
need
pressure down
to
there.
you need to
PAF.
create so you need to make sure that the density of that ball can withstand the pressure as fuck of the water.
Let's just say the ball is simply built different, as I am. I go down there. Now, let me tell you the goal for why I'm down there in the first place.
Okay.
I'm going down there to steal the wallets of the billionaires.
Okay. You know all that money's probably waterlogged.
I don't care. Have you ever heard of a hair dryer?
Okay. So you're gonna
Use
get
one of
into
those
a
every
hamster.
day.
You're gonna get into a dense as fuck hamster ball and
DAF
travel
hamster ball.
to the PAF depths of the water.
Hmm.
How are you going
I
to
need to know.
obtain? How are you going to obtain the wallets once you find them?
That's not the issue at hand. I'll find a
Yeah,
way.
it is.
The
Okay, how
issue
you
at
gonna?
hand is figuring out how much oxygen I have in that ball before I start breathing in pure CO2.
You probably have
That's
4 minutes.
the issue. The wallets aren't the issue. I'll figure that out.
You probably have enough to get maybe 100 feet down into the water.
Not if I conserve my air.
How you gonna do that?
Um, Mongolian Mongolian breath exercises. I know they do that
Or is it
in
gonna be like what the
preparation for the
ninjas do, where
Mongolian
they like
throat
slow their,
singing.
where you got to slow their heart rate down?
Yeah, they do these breath exercises to prepare themselves for the Mongolian throat singing because it's so intensive.
Okay.
So I would be going down,
Doing
they'd
your
be lowering
throat.
me down, and you would just hear through the intercom.
Okay, okay. So let me get this straight. So you're gonna go into a hamster ball, a
Mhm.
singular man into a hamster ball.
One man.
You're gonna go
More
to the
than one is too
bottom.
much air.
You're gonna go to the bottom of the ocean,
Yeah,
and you're gonna be practicing your throat exercises
correct.
on some dead billionaires to get their wallets.
I mean, quite literally
Because
high
you
risk, high
obviously you
reward.
have to warm your throat up before you get to those billionaires
I'll do
for
that
their
on the boat.
money.
I'll do that on the boat. I'll take in the air, and then once I'm on the way down, I will be expelling the air through the Mongolian throat exercises.
It's like when you hold your breath at the bottom of the pool and you just let little small amounts of air out at a time.
Yeah, one
Okay.
bubble, one bubble per minute.
Okay.
And then when I'm finally at the breaking point where I'm like, I have to breathe, I hold my breath for 10 more seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then by that time, I should be at the bottom. And then I breathe in. And then let's say I have, you said 4 minutes of oxygen. I think I could double that to at least eight.
And you
And with extreme air rationing, I could bring that to double digits. I can make that 10 minutes.
Mhm.
And that's more than enough time for me to get the wallets and make my way up.
How would you make your way up?
Well, they would have to bring the anchor back up.
Okay. How fast do you think they can do that? Can you be like, look, when I tug this anchor, when you feel me tugging, I need you to pull up in 4 minutes.
No, this is all timed. They wouldn't be able to feel that. It's like 2.5 miles down. It'll have to be timed. So if they bring
Two
that
and a
anchor up and
half
I'm not there,
miles.
it's over. Isn't that how far down the Titanic is?
Two
Pretty sure it's about
miles?
2.5 miles.
I feel like that is way too short.
Short?
Yeah.
I mean, you can look it up.
Yeah.
If it's short, then this plan is even better.
No.
And
I
I'm
feel like
planning
two
for two and a half
miles. I feel like
miles
two
here.
miles is short.
So you think it's more?
Yeah. How deep is the Titanic in miles? Oh, motherfucker, it's 2.5.
Oh my God, I nailed it. You see, I don't come into this without
God
a
damn
foolproof
it.
plan. We have about 10 minutes.
Okay.
The way down, the way up,
Okay.
the way up.
Okay.
So I have a metal pipe. On the
Yes.
way up, I knock myself out. Actually, no, I don't need I don't. I just watched 13 Lives. I'll give myself anesthesia.
Right in your
Dramatically
neck. and
But
you just
dude,
go, and you'll
I don't
wake
need a
up the bottom.
imagine me going down there with a pipe and just accidentally killing myself after successfully stealing 4 billionaires' wallets.
Just do
How?
some singular. Okay, breaking news. As we're getting
Breaking
reports,
news,
we're
they
getting
found the
reports.
billionaires.
We're getting reports that a singular man has made it to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, where the fucking Titanic is, and he is in what looks to be a hamster ball, but he
That's
has
correct,
found
Steve.
the billionaires, and we're
He's coming
taking.
up with four small, it looks like high quality leather objects.
Dude,
Boys, he's got it. He's got it.
he stole
He
their
appears to be
wallets.
unconscious
He went
with,
down there to steal their wallets.
this is
And
a
he's doing
GTA
this.
heist if ever I've heard it.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like, well, let's cut to the underwater cameras, and it's gonna be like the little drones they have down there that's broadcasting news feed, and you're just pulling on the anchor to like get them to pull you up, and they're like, okay, he's inserting something into his neck. I think he's trying to knock himself out to survive this uplifting.
I'm a self-proclaimed anesthetist.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting word now that because the pressure and the excitement of finding those wallets was just way too high, the gentleman's thumb slipped and he put too much anesthesia into his neck and it killed him on the spot.
I mean, he died the way that he lived, trying to steal from the rich.
This guy,
They would make a movie about me for sure.
the fucking
On top
hamster
of the
ball.
movie that's already gonna get made about this whole situation anyway.
Yeah.
They would make so many movies about me.
Oh my god.
But
That's
say it was successful and I came back up, I would then steal the business model of the submersible guy, and I would
uh-huh.
just take people down in hamster wheels and charge them $250,000.
Would you give them their own hamster ball?
Oh yeah, I mean you can't put everybody in one. That's way too much air.
Yeah,
So
you
you go
gotta
down,
know how much
you teach them
anesthesia.
Mongolian throat exercises.
Okay.
You go down, you see what you want to see. You get anesthesia, you go back up.
Now how you're gonna have well, since you're all gonna be in balls, you're gonna have to somehow like build a like one of those monkey ball racing course tracks into the Titanic so like you can walk around and that kind of stuff. There's ramps to go up everywhere. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like one of those. What was
I'm
that?
gonna
What was
theme
that?
park the shit out of this.
Yeah, but it's 250,000 plus per person per
Yeah,
hour.
we're gonna put up like pressure resistant 6-inch glass on the Titanic, and then we're gonna drain it, and then you're gonna be able to just walk around in there. And every step is 100 grand.
Okay.
I'll be like Mr. Krabs charging for every breath of air that you breathe.
Okay.
And people will pay it.
You know how crazy you could fucking market that shit like during October?
Oh, you want to see the
You want?
Titanic? Okay, that's fine. How about you walk in the Titanic? How about I
Oh my
get you
god, you can
down
make
there
it a
and you
theme
play
park
bumper
ride.
cars inside the Titanic
Oh my
with
god,
all the dead skeletons?
wait till Halloween. You can make it a haunted house.
Oh, it'd be great. You walk down there, there's Jason in a scuba costume.
Yeah,
It's great. And then
and you can
Cthulhu
like,
gets all pissed off and he
oh dude, that'd
kills
be sick.
everybody.
You could paint your little hamster ball like according to the theme, and
I'm gonna paint it. It's
if
gonna
you
be a giant jack-o'-lantern going down.
and if you don't,
It's gonna
yeah,
be brilliant.
but when you don't like it, you just have to like as you're going down or rising up, you just have to run a couple times, and it'll spin the hamster ball, and then all the paint will just wash off.
I mean, sure. At this point, I have so much money that I could just replace the hamster balls with new hamster balls. Because
Just
safety is
recycle through the same floor.
priority numero uno. We do not at Zack's Deep Sea Adventures, we do not reuse hamster balls.
You
Too
don't cut
much risk.
corners.
You don't, I mean, you
Well, because yeah,
airline
what if I
crasher.
fart? okay, like what if I
I'm
fart
going to
in a
be able to see
hamster
a
ball?
hairline fracture.
What if I fart in a hamster ball and then I have to get out and give it to the next person?
They're going to be going down there with
Less air
quite
than
the
started.
quite the smell of onions and
Ketchup.
honey smoked Wawa hoagies.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna stink.
they wouldn't be able to do anything with that.
No.
They just have to endure it. So I'm not the, the safety is obviously priority number one here.
Hmm.
We replace the hamster balls because this my company's gonna be raking in so much goddamn moolah. We have millions, dare I say hundreds of millions of hamster balls in an offshore location, and we
Just
just
being
ship
produced.
them. We ship them to this. I guess I'd buy like an aircraft carrier or something, but instead of jets, it's just a bunch of giant see-through hamster balls
Do you have like
tethered
military
tethered to the
people,
surface.
like your own crew of like armed guards on
Nope.
top of that aircraft carrier, to where instead of like when the jets fly off, you have dudes with assault rifles yelling "Go, go, go!" and just everyone just like rolls their little hamster ball off the side one at a time.
No, that you see, I'm making a lot of money, but I'm also since I'm taking over the business model of this guy, I'm gonna be an absolute cheapskate too.
Okay,
So I'm gonna hire like Six Flags staff and um Hershey
like Dairy Queen
Hershey
staff.
Parks staff. Yeah, they're just gonna be like
Hi,
half
welcome to
looking at their
Zack's
phones. They
welcome
have
to Zack's
sunglasses on,
underwater
they're chewing, they
adventures.
have a whistle, and they have the little bit of sunscreen on their nose, like a
Yeah,
lifeguard, and they're gonna be half looking, they'll be like, ready? Oh no, I'm not quite buckled in, okay. And then they go down.
yeah.
So I'm going to pay my staff horribly, but I'm going to absolutely just rake it in.
Hi, welcome to Zack's underwater adventure. Please remain seated and keep your hands and feet inside the ball at all times. Ready? Goodbye. Have fun.
Beautiful.
Click. It's break time.
ZUA. We're gonna call it ZUA, our nice little acronym. ZUA, and then we'll have a nice little blue, it's gonna look like a wave. It's gonna go over the top of the font and then it's gonna curl back under the bottom.
Whoa.
And we'll do a nice little Titanic design in there too. Probably
Oh,
mix it in with the words.
okay.
Um
Whoa,
again,
well,
we're
here it
still
is. The top part of the Z and the bottom part of the Z could be the both broken ends of the Titanic.
perfect. Yes, you can be the media manager.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna pay you
And
minimum
the
wage.
A, and so it's going to be, you're going to have to go with a lowercase a, obviously, because the
Yeah,
circle,
capital Z, lowercase a, and maybe a
you and,
smaller u, and then it can kind
but
of
the
emulate
A,
you going deeper into the water.
yes, but the circle part of the A is going to be the hamster ball.
Yes, and the U we turn into a German U-boat.
No, it stands for you.
Yes, you can also have the most fun you've ever had while playing bumper cars inside the Titanic.
Yes.
This could be you. And then they're gonna
And
eventually
it's a stick person. It's just a mirror. It's like this is you, and it's just them looking in a mirror, and it says this could be you, and it's going to be a stick figure person with a giant smile and
yeah, it's
hands
gonna
in
and
the
they're
air.
it's gonna be so big that they're going to eventually replace like the porn ads with ads for Zua. You know the ads that are like, this fat, ugly moron is fucking hot chicks in your area, and you're a fat loser and you're not. It's gonna be
Yeah,
like this fat, ugly, detestable individual is playing bumper cars inside the Titanic right now, and you're delivering pizzas.
yeah. This guy, this disgusting, depressed, ignorant, just
This
vile of a human
disgusting,
being.
disabled,
He
three-limbed fuck.
he made an amusement park at the bottom of the ocean in the Titanic with a hamster ball, a needle full of fucking anesthesia, and a dream. And you are delivering pizzas, and you can't even get your mom to text you back.
I feel like I'm at work right now reading that ad.
Perfect.
So
So obviously, then a movie has to be made about that, right? You're gonna have documentary crews come talk to you about that. They're going to you might as well film a movie down there
on location, yeah.
on location.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it's going to be James Cameron.
Yep.
I'm going to have James Cameron. He's going to be my lapdog,
Yep.
my right-hand man. He's going to design all the spheres. We're going to call them
Hmm.
spheres, not bubbles, because that sounds more technologically advanced. They're going to look like the Jurassic World bubbles,
Hmm.
except we're going to have a little more sense, and we're not going to let you control them because we're not fucking stupid here at Zua. We take safety regulations very seriously.
Yep.
So you're going to go down attached to an anchor.
Is it in a seat and
No.
with a seatbelt?
Oh,
Or do you have
obviously,
you
because
have
there
free
are
or
there
do you
are
have free
animals
roam
down there.
inside your ball?
Um, there will be. It'll be like when you're going through turbulence on an airplane and you have to buckle up. There will be certain times if there's like we have sonar, obviously, so we can
Hmm.
detect if there's aquatic life down there, if there's like a whale or a giant squid, and there could be possibility of they run into the sphere. You need
Well,
to be
then
buckled in
obviously you're
because
going to
of
have
that.
to drop down that mask with the bag
Yep.
because
That'll just come in
no, it comes in every single hamster ball.
comes standard in every zoosphere.
It does. Because one, you don't want to hyperventilate and run out of oxygen. So if you're going to hyperventilate, you're going to have to do it into the bag.
Yeah, we'll have one of those. We'll also have a vomit bag too, because we
Mhm.
know motion sickness. There will be turbulence because just like above water, underwater there are currents as well. There will be movement.
Mhm. There'll be pressure. Your ears are going to pop. We're going to slip you in 2
Yeah, you're
Tylenol and a stick of gum, just like you're
as
going up
well
in a
as
plane. The
the
earplugs,
yes earplugs.
earplugs and the gum so your ears don't pop. And then when you inevitably get a headache from the beating of tons of pressure of water into your sphere with little oxygen, we have 2 Tylenol and a little dentist cup of water.
Perfect. And like I mean like any kind of adventure where you're on a plane or you're on a boat. The initial sights are going to be incredible, but the longer you're there, the more you just it's
Miss
just water around you.
civilization.
So like most planes, we're going to have a little TV. You will have one option for one movie, and that movie is obviously Titanic. You should be able to start the movie and finish the movie well in time to arrive at your destination. To where? Fucking Titanic.
And see, you've already planned it out. You'll be able to see it's the director's cut of the Titanic.
Yeah, so it's 17 hours long.
Yep, and in that trip, and this is why you're paying for the money. Like this is why
They're
you're paying
still
the money.
making the director's cut.
Yes.
So you'll get to
Uh
see the making
you can
of while you're
start
going down.
you can start, finish, listen to the audio podcast partner that comes with it so you can listen to what there's like the how things are made and actors perspectives and stuff like that, the
Yep, you
companion
get
piece to the movie like they
yep,
do with
that's
the
called
HBO shows.
John Street Films.
Yep,
Get
us.
free access to that. Well, not free, you'll get a trial, but on the way back up you will have to pay for it.
Yes. Well, then you have the option if you liked what you heard, and obviously we're
And you
gonna
will because
after the Titanic's video's done, you're just gonna get hit with the audio, either the audio or the visual of us doing our previous recorded episode.
yeah,
On your way up, when you leave, when you scan your Zua bracelet to get into your sphere, the first thing that pops up is, "Would you like to subscribe uh, to get notifications and any ongoing events for the Jawn Street podcast?" And you say
yes, and
yes
here's
or
where your
no.
loyalty will be tested.
It's yes or
If
yes,
you say
and there's 2
yes,
options.
then you're
It's
then
it's
you are a member for
10.99.
life.
Yes, it's 10.99 a month until your great grandkids die, or it's another 250 right now, one time payment.
You see, I like the financial aspect of that side. My idea was more maniacal,
Mm-hmm.
where if you say yes, then great, you're a member for life. We will look upon you with a smile, going, leaving, and arriving at the USS Zua. But if you say no,
Mhm.
we pop the bubble.
Well, if you say no, then that's fine. We've already taken $500,000 out of your family. If you say yes, while supplies last, we will put a plaque of your name over one of the surviving Titanic rooms, and that will be your room every time you come down.
Yeah.
But when all those rooms fill up, obviously, we're gonna have to just take a magic marker, one of those waterproof magic markers, and write your name on the glass so people will see it when they come down.
Yeah. I mean, in this particular version of the future, I have turned into a money hungry, money addicted whore. And
Yes.
at that point, it doesn't even become about money to me. It becomes about power. So if somebody doesn't want the notifications, I kill them. No
Yes.
questions asked. They die.
Yes. You you turn your Zack's underwater adventure into a into an empire.
It's a communism.
Yeah, you become your own country. You're in international waters. There's no buyable land down there. So you can just create your own country underwater. You will be the city of Atlantis 2.0.
I
And it's just a
I
glass box
gain
around one half of the broken Titanic.
I have domain over everything aquatic. And
Okay.
this
You're taking
begins
over all of the water.
because I'm such a power hungry individual in this version of the future.
Okay, so you'll obviously have
Only
you'll have
oceans aren't enough for me.
so
So I
you'll
begin
have
to
access to advanced technology to where you can obviously upgrade your spheres, your zoospheres, to where you can travel underwater without a
Mhm.
hook and connect it to an anchor. So you can just you never have to come up for air. You have you cycle in the oxygen from the surrounding water and it ventilates it out to just pure oxygen now into your sphere.
I've developed gills by this point.
Okay.
I am a power hungry, egotistical,
Aqua
fascist,
cunt.
communistic merman.
Okay. Okay. I
And
was gonna
I am
say
no longer satisfied with my domination of the ocean.
I was gonna say aqua cunt.
I now demand a monopoly on all water on the planet. Great lakes, small lakes, creeks,
Ponds.
drinking water. I now wa- I now want financial compensation for people drinking water
Okay.
and cleansing themselves, whether
Okay.
that be bath or shower.
Have you already developed a way to communicate to the whales and the sharks?
Well, see, I was thinking it would get kind of boring just popping their sphere if they said no to the post notifications. So I was thinking
You send like two
I
flashlights out
develop
and you aim them down and they just get attacked.
yeah, I develop a sort of
A kinship.
Davy Jones-esque type of method where I have this giant device on the ship. It
The broken
thuds
down
down and
ship.
creates the super sonar pulse, and my gigantic sperm whale, affectionately named, um, I don't have a name for him yet, but I mean, Moby Dick is too on nose, but it's Moby Dick-esque, and
Willie.
he comes, he's like 120 feet long, and he swallows you and your sphere, and those post notifications get pushed on to somebody else.
So a name like that, um, I think you might have to go like Tom.
I was thinking
Like something just so
No, I mean,
obscure. So it's just like you want me to you
I'm gonna
want
call
me to call
Herman Melville the sperm whale.
yeah, you want Herman. You want
Herman Melville,
you want
the
me
author
to
of Moby Dick.
you
A
want me to
giant
get
Herman
Herm
Melville.
you want me to get Hermy?
Hermie is my secret weapon.
Yeah.
He patrol he patrols the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. I think this is a great idea.
It's it's literally game changing.
It
And
really is.
there will be a war between the sea people and the land people.
So the sea people is just
It's going to be
you.
paradise lost on Earth.
So the sea people is just you and whoever subscribes monthly to your underwater amusement park
Yeah.
because they it's a signing on a life bounding contract. You just have to pay monthly. It's like a timeshare. You just can never get
Mhm.
out of it. But you sell your life to now fight for the cause of the mer people.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought that condos in Aspen were lucrative. How about condos under the fucking sea? Let it wash over you for a second. There it is. Boom. Money signs in their eyes.
Like, oh shit, you're right. Here is
Perfect.
$285,000, sir.
Can I say either you agree or I call Herman Melville here to come and fucking just eat your ass.
You will be written in history books. Um, you will be you will be a myth. You will be a legend. Eventually, they will make a superhero out of you. You will be considered.
I'm like Genghis Khan because people are too afraid to antagonize me.
You are like if Lex Luthor and Aquaman were the same exact person.
This is this is the this is probably the wildest rabbit hole we've ever gone down.
Yeah, it was just
And
flowing so
it's
perfectly.
easily the best rabbit hole we've ever gone down. I think this has real world implications, if you ask me.
It really
And
does.
the advantage of having a monopoly on all things liquid, that's the thing. I'm at this point, I'm like Baron Harkonnen.
Okay.
I'm just growing fat on my greed. I'm no longer satisfied with water. I have
You have a
killed off.
disdain for
I
you're
have killed
sick of
off
underwater
the.
life.
No, I'm addicted to underwater life. I want land life to become dependent on underwater life. I've killed off the cow population because they produce milk. I no longer only desire water. Now I have a monopoly on the liquor business. I'm going to create another damn. I've been underwater so long I don't even remember what it was called when we outlawed alcohol.
Prohibition.
Oh man. I am going to
A prohibition.
yeah, I'm going to rebrand every
Speakeasy.
beer and liquor bottle with a picture of my face, which now, instead of a regular mustache, has tentacles and tendrils on it.
Okay.
I am just Davy Jones at this point.
So when have you gotten to the point to where human life disgusts you and sea life becomes boring that you have to then find the combination of both? And you have to
well, you see, that's the
you
thing.
run
At this
human
point,
experiments and you test mating services to try to create the ultimate breed, a two-legged walking sea breather
well,
that can
in
survive land and
this,
sea.
but I think I probably grew bored of just the mundaneness of dominating planet Earth that I'm no longer just satisfied with Earth. I need interplanetary domination now.
So that's how you have
We
to
need to
start it
start
though.
moving
So
out.
you start with the underwater people, right? Then you take over the land. And
Yep.
then the next part is you've already got under the sea, you've already got on top of land. Now you have to try to conquer the air. So that's when you get into the birds and things that can fly.
This is why James Cameron is my lapdog.
Yep. And so
We have Navi for that. We have
so
Navi for this.
once you acquire and take over air, you have to then take over space. And once you have mastered water, earth, air, and space, you become an avatar, and then
That's a fucking cakewalk.
you can go interplanetary systems.
Space is a cakewalk.
Or
I had a solution. I had been developing a solution to this for decades.
unless you go
At this
further
point,
down past the bottom of the ocean and get towards the molten core of the earth, so you can really be one with the earth and be the ruler of earth, and you master fire, and you're the ultimate avatar.
I think at this point I'm tired of Earth and my domain over all of its ocean, now land, and all of its creatures, and I dig to the core and I just blow the Earth up.
Mhm.
And then I ride out to outer space on my sea whales. This is this is what I've been developing for decades. At this point, I'm a hundred. At this point, I'm a hundred, 280 years old, but I have inherited the um
The lifespan of like a fucking oak tree,
I've developed
like
the
a redwood.
yeah, or the immune system of like a sea turtle. And I will not die of old age.
And the surviving skills of like a cockroach.
Yeah. So I blow up the earth. I I move on to my next conquest on my sea whales, and we go to, I believe, the only planet. There's a planet 218 light years away. It's called Kepler 138. It's a red dwarf star, and I believe it is um capable. It's very much like Earth, similar similar air and habitable ocean.
So your giant
I could
space
be
whale.
completely wrong on that. I just looked it up.
So your giant sea space whale obviously is going to have to
Oh, it's
go. It's going to
composed
have to
mostly of
go
water.
to the Titanic, open its mouth, grab it, the whole amusement park and everything, leave it in its tongue like Monstra did to Geppetto and Pinocchio.
Yep.
Obviously, so you can take your headquarters to whatever new planet you're going to.
Yeah, we are going to take the various anchors that we've lowered the spheres in, and we are going to chain those to the space whales, and they I'm gonna be like Santa Claus, but Santa Claus is in the Titanic, being towed by
Space whale.
red nosed space whales en route to Kepler 138, a planet predominantly covered by water, because I need to see new life and I need
What if they have
a new
larger space whales?
conquest. At
Like,
this
what if
point, I'm
Kepler 131
300.
has larger like sea whales?
At this point, I welcome the challenge because Earth has been such a pathetic endeavor to me. At this point, I'm 368 years old. Still young, though. My son's name is Crush,
Okay,
and I fed Nemo to a shark
interesting,
for my own amusement because I was bored and cross-faded one night.
nice. Well, I think this is a wonderful.
Get
Oh,
the get, get the script ready.
I was just gonna say, I think this is something we have to start plotting down and making some notes of.
Well, I gotta tell you, I was not when I had directors against Zaslav as a topic, I was not expecting this to become
You taking over the
the
galaxy and
focus.
space whales.
Fucking space whales. It's just cool.
So
And you can't say it's not
if
cool.
if you've listened
Space sperm whales.
if you've listened to this entire episode so far and you're now with us, let's just give a quick run back of how we got here. So
Good luck. It's I feel like it's been 200 years.
Zack has taken the topic of David Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, laying off half of the veteran leadership at Turner Classic Movies to conquering all of space and time with six or more anchor chained sea space whales
Oh,
as he
way
rides. Okay,
way more.
he anchors sea and space whales together like reindeer as he rides a broken half of the Titanic across the galaxy like Santa Claus, just becoming the ruler of every planet and intergalactic being he could find.
Just imagine Santa Claus if his sleigh was the Titanic and his beard was Davy Jones's face, and you have 12 gigantic Herman Melville Moby Dicks in space.
Okay.
This is what the people want. This is what the people need, and they just
Yes.
don't know it yet.
And they just don't know it yet.
Yeah, if this
So
isn't some spectrum activity, I don't know what is.
a couple more things to talk about. You have a couple topics
I
under
mean,
the
I don't think you realize just how in character I am right now. I can't just transition to another topic.
all right, let
I
your fucking brain go. Let it go.
I am
Just fucking
I
go. Just go.
I am Zua the Destroyer right now.
All
I'm Zua
right.
the Conqueror of Worlds. In I'm Neander Wallace in 2049. We should own the stars. I could
Fuck.
conquer 9 worlds, and I could say
Fuck.
9. A child can count to 9 on
That's gonna be
fingers.
your catch. That's gonna be
Pathetic.
that's your tagline for your amusement park. Is Zua Underwater Adventures. We can conquer the stars.
People say, "What is he talking about? Like photoplankton or something? Because they look like stars down there?" No, Timmy. No. My goals are beyond your meager understanding, you pathetic little boy.
You
If you don't
blast
accept these notifications, you are going to die.
and you just send him in a fucking almost like when you pop a balloon and it flows away. You just pop his
No.
fucking hamster ball.
I pop it and I turn away like a cool guy walking away from an explosion. And I walk away and I say to one of my anonymous henchmen, I say, clean it up. And then
Yeah,
I go back to my chambers and I start um I've developed a machine where I can turn like $1 billion into a sirloin steak and I eat it.
that's actually
Just
how would you do that? It wouldn't even be a sirloin steak.
how would you do that?
You become
How would you
so
do that?
you become so
That's your
money.
question? I have space whales, and that's your question?
How do you get a sirloin steak to the bottom of the ocean?
It's not because there's so many. I mean, there are so many layers to this world.
I just see you
Waterworld with
yelling.
Kevin Costner has nothing on this.
I just see you yelling at your henchmen like, "No, I, I want this medium rare." You just send it back
Yeah.
up, and then
And he goes and like throws another $12 trillion into a furnace and then turns it into a
shoveling it.
sirloin steak.
You have one guy, and you preserve the engine. The furnace room in the Titanic. It's only for you have some poor older guy who's just shoveling and he's sweating and the furnace is kicking. And instead of shoveling coal like an old train guy does into the furnace, he's just shoveling piles of money just
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 into
piles.
just into a furnace. And you have him he walks out back, he comes back in with like two more wheelbarrows just full of hundreds, and he dumps them, and just it's a
Yeah,
shovel, just shovels them into the
yeah.
furnace.
And
The
here's
furnace goes for nothing.
here's where the comedic relief scene is going to be in this either series or movie. I don't know. Either HBO is going to pick it up or Warner Bros is going to try to, and I'm going to say no, fuck you, and I'm going to go to Universal. This is going to be the comedic scene where they dump the money on the ground, and then it's Huel and Bill Burr, and they both lay down on it.
Just lay on the money.
And they say, now that's how you do a cameo. That's not on the nose at all. This Zack guy's not a fucking self-obsessed monster who needs to be stopped right now. Do not give him the money to make something like this
And they
because
just
he's
instantly
going to turn into the dictator that we didn't want to see.
and they buy 3 more subscriptions for people coming down themselves.
Yeah.
They do
And
like a
they,
pay. What if you implemented a pay it forward thing, like you do it at like fast food restaurants out of the drive through, and you're like, I'll pay for the guy behind me. You pay for his subscription to your underwater
yeah.
adventure too.
And the guy in front of me is David Zaslav.
Yeah.
And I am ordering
55. What's
I
what's the
am
joke
ordering
from the joke from the I
it's
think you should
Tim
leave skit?
Robinson.
Yeah,
Right?
The Tim Robinson skit.
Yeah,
Um
I'm ordering 500 fucking Whoppers or Big Macs.
yeah.
I'm ordering everything you have, David Zaslav.
Yeah. You're hitting
And
a
then Herman Melville's gonna come and chomp your ass up.
Yeah, you're hitting him with the 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wigs, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, 55 peppers, and 155 taters to save to
Yep.
David Zaslav and just like your Zua underwater subscription.
Yeah, it's all of that except it's in a Red Lobster because it's seafood.
Yeah. Like, sir, we don't have meatballs here.
Yep. Because in this alternate reality, this is the most important part of this in this world building is that Red Lobster has a drive-through. If
Mm.
Red Lobster doesn't have a drive-through, this whole thing falls apart.
Would you put a McDonald's down underwater in your thing? There's a
Oh,
McDonald's in
100%.
every there's a
Yeah,
McDonald's in every single
it'll
country.
be just like putting a McDonald's in a mall. It won't even after a couple years, it's not even going to resemble the Titanic anymore. It's just going to be a gigantic, disgusting tourist attraction. And then on the side, we're going to be like, and if you look to your right, you can see a pathetic little submersible called the Titan. And this whole thing was paid for by stealing their wallets.
Yep.
It's just
It's our
this world has
it's our
already been
founding
built.
it's our
This
founding
world
fathers
already
of
is so rich,
the Zua
and
founding
there's so many
fathers.
layers and so many details.
You had to
Yep,
swim out there
the
and
founding fathers.
you dug them graves and you put headstones in there.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say sucker number one, sucker number two, sucker number three. And I didn't even bother to get to the fourth one.
No, because
Because at this point
you couldn't
I'm
breathe
such
as
an
it was. You were
arrogant
just
fuck.
so you were just, your head was just pounding from the pressure. You couldn't just reach into his pocket and grab his wallet, so you didn't need his.
Yeah. It's like on land, like the land people say, oh, this air's going to your head. They all say, oh, all this pressure's going to your head. And then I grab my trident and I impale them. And I say, you dare speak against the great dictator.
Nice. And you have
Serve in heaven or reign in hell.
ooh,
Again, there's going to be a lot of Paradise Lost references here.
hit him with the
We're going to be putting up a lot of John Milton quotes.
hit him with the old famous drip or drown, and then you spear him.
Oh my God, you're getting $1 billion bonus for that one.
Fuck yeah.
You get a fucking bonus. You get a bonus. We're hiring damn, who's the drippiest company out right now?
Um
Hit me with it. You're now $1 billion man.
The drippiest.
The drippiest company.
Twitter.
Commodore.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's drippy.
And Tesla. You have Elon.
Okay, now we're talking. I was about to send Herman Melville on your ass when I heard Twitter. But
you get Elon as a silent
Tesla
partner.
could be lucrative. Tesla could be very lucrative indeed. And I mean, if have you seen Elon Musk without a shirt on? He already looks like a leopard seal. He's already half on his way.
So you just perch on your Titanic and shirtless,
barrel chested,
as you fucking sail through the stars.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. We're gonna
you
build
send
out
him
to
first.
the
He's
very
like your who was Jabba the Hutt's assistant guy with the thing around his head, who did all the talking for him? I forget his fucking name. No.
I absolutely don't remember because I hated all those guys.
Fuck, I forget his name.
Although they're very aquatic, I feel like they would do well in my underwater situation.
Fuck. Oh, Bib Fortuna. That was his name.
Yeah, I was totally gonna say that.
Bib Fortuna. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna.
This
emphasis
guy.
on the tuna. Emphasis on the tuna.
So he was the one.
Then I get bored and I say, "Can I play with your hair?"
So he spoke for Jabba the Hutt. So that's what you do with Elon, is you take Elon along with his barrel-chested leopard seal body, and when you get to new planets, he takes his little Tesla Mars rover and he goes down there to breach contact with the planet life first before you ascend with your space whales.
Yes. The space whales is an event in, I believe it's going to be like 2362 is when we leave Earth with the space whales after detonating the Earth's core. And then we move for Kepler 138.
So when all of like the aliens that live on Kepler 138 who are going into school, it's going to be like their D-Day.
I'm going to show up. I completely forgot how to speak. I completely forgot how to speak English. I show up and I go, Signal am Tunnel abfull. And then my arm can't stop doing this.
I thought you were going to say you come down, you're just speaking whale.
I come down and all you hear is, and then if the people say anything that I don't agree with,
because you obviously can't understand.
I simply unchain the space whales
one at a time.
Mm-hmm. And if the Kepler 183
civilizations,
yeah, the colonists,
oh, that,
if
okay,
they do not get down on one knee, their left knee, because that's most people are right-handed. I want them to have to be uncomfortable when saluting the great leader of the universe. If anybody down on the right knee will be immediately executed.
Oh, great leader, Zack from Zack's Underwater Adventures.
Yep. They just break out and chant. Zua, Zua, Zua.
And you can hear the one person whisper, "What the fuck does that mean?"
And I say, "Who said that?"
Dead quiet.
Who said that? Which one of you fucking blue bastards said that? Was it you, Jake Sully? It was you, wasn't it? And then he says,
"Dude, I can see it. You teach your space whales how to go through like hyperspace, but you end up going too far. Now you're breaking realities and multiverses, and you're just every single movie from here on out that takes place on another planet, we just see the reminiscences of your space whales. So like Avatars on Pandora, one scene, your fucking space whales just come through and just cause a ruckus. And then the next scene is going to be like some you could do like whatever it was in however they had it in like the Super Mario Brothers movie where they went into like that other universe into the Mushroom Kingdom. Here comes you and your fucking space whales. No, but whatever it is, like you in all these universes, here comes just you and your space whales, and you just see it off into the distance. You just see like it just here come the space whales, and you hear like a fucking whale moan as it just bursts through, comes across screen, and just goes
He's
away.
literally breaking the sound barrier.
That's all you need. You don't need to be in all of
We go
these
into
movies
hyper
and
speed.
timelines. You just pop in, they see you in the distance, you're kind of faded out over the clouds. It's just kind of like a glimpse and like a shadow, but there you are. There come your space whales just coming right through the corner of the screen. You're like, wow, he's in every single movie because you're just breaking realities.
Yeah, but this is what is in the final film of the epic like Bond-esque 25 film series this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Or see
This is you're basically on Homer's
or TV
Odyssey.
series, how it's going to end, whoever my opposition is going to be
It's
is
gonna end
going
up
to
being
befriend
Elon.
they're going to befriend the space whales that I have so horribly mistreated over all of these years,
It's gonna end up being
and they're going
Elon.
to use the space whales against me.
The person
So
closest to you.
Elon's gonna be like my he's gonna be like my sex slave.
Yeah, but he's going to be the one that turns into
It's
your biggest challenge because he knows how you are, he knows how you act, he knows how you contacted and got close with your space whales. He's done that secretly while you sleep. He's the one talking to these other planets. He's the one starting a mutiny against you,
yeah, but that okay.
all
I'm
because
gonna
you threw a baseball through his Mars rover window and it broke.
it's gonna be like that. Then I'm gonna catch him though. I can't let Elon Musk be the one that completes my downfall. So
No,
it's
but
gonna
he
be like the
starts
scene
it.
in
You catch
Gladiator.
him. You catch him and kill
Mm.
him. But the one who really does the big turn, the big reveal, the very uh Herman Melvin himself, the initial one.
And it's just his head in like a scientific cryostasis. Just
Yeah,
his
yeah,
head on ice comes out and it opens up like like you know that head or the one crew member on Davy Jones's on the Flying Dutchman's part of the ship,
yeah,
and he's just like the space whales are mine, and he sets them against me,
yeah.
and then I go, and then I have like my Cutler Beckett moment from at World's End, and I'm walking down like
The
my s-
stairs
I'm walking down the stairs of the Titanic as it's being blown apart.
by space whales and their ray beams or
Two
their
space
sonar
whales,
beam, their sonar beams back and forth, just
yeah,
blowing the
two
ship.
space whales come along each side of the ship, and they start
Fuck,
firing frickin' lasers from the frickin' heads. And then I go, it's just a
good
business.
business. Just slowly walk,
And then the Titanic is destroyed, and those
and the final shot
and
is just
all
is
of the
just an
souls of the earth are avenged.
upside. It's just a the final shot is just the Zua flag in the water with your body landing on top of it.
Yeah, and like half merman, so the bottom is just a fin.
Yeah,
Bottom is just like a dolphin tail, and
and just like your tentacles hanging off one side.
yeah, it's perfect.
This is
And
great.
oh fuck, I had one. Oh damn it, I already forgot what it was. What's it? Come on, think. It's just good business. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I remember. Okay, so that all ends after the 25th movie,
Mhm.
and then the sequel to that is Avatar 3 in like 2031, and it all comes full circle. Like a perfect sphere. It's epic and it's perfect. It's more well-rounded than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Fuck, man. Oh, that was great.
Perfect. Oh, it's perfect.
That was great.
And
That was
thus
great. That was great.
that's our pitch. That's our pitch to David Zaslav and Warner Bros. Right there. And then at the end of that 12-hour presentation, he goes, "Get the fuck out of here." And then right as he says out of here, Herman Melville comes in and fucking swallows him whole. And then we cut to credits. Directed by Michael Bay.
And it's just Linkin Park starts
Absolutely
playing as the
not. I would
credits
not
start
allow that. No.
rolling.
No. Directed by Christopher Nolan. And the last shot
Just,
is David Zaslav getting eaten. It's
I thought
perfect.
it'd be badass if it was Michael Bay. So it's just like absolutely not, and you just snap your fingers, and here comes Herman Melville, and it's just like the Linkin Park, the boom boom boom. Just like as the credits starts
Yep.
to roll up, you're like, "Fuck, this is sick."
What I've done, praise myself. And it's perfect.
The credits
And this
start to
movie
roll.
is this franchise is going to bring humanity into the stars. It's either going to make so much money that we expand planets, or it's going to bomb so hard that there will be a war between the ocean people and the land people in real life. And there's no in between. James
It's only because
Cameron's the one
people are
who
going to be.
decides our
It's only
fate.
going to be people forced to sell their houses to pay off the debt that you put this country into that they have to move underwater. So it's obviously going to be the rich versus the poor, and the poor
It's
is
gonna be. I'm going to put the entire planet into like an economical
recession.
disaster, because much like you know how the Barbie movie used so much pink, there was like a nationwide pink shortage,
Yeah,
allegedly. There's going to be no oceans left by the time I'm done with these 25 movies. There's
we
going
also
to be a worldwide water shortage.
yeah
But
we're going to be outsourcing to other planets for water.
we're going to Kepler 138 is going to get a message in 200 years saying we request 1 million gallons of water in a Dr. Evil voice.
Yeah,
And
we just
then you're
need
going to hear in the
one.
background like my secretary, Elon Musk, saying, it's actually it's 2363. A million gallons isn't a whole lot of water these days." Like, oh, that would have been really nice to know before I got on this call. 1 billion gallons, and then we all die because a billion gallons isn't that much either. And then the credits roll on that scene,
Is
and
the
that's the
what
end of
about
the movie.
what? Okay, then what's the post
Directed.
credit? What's the mid credit scene and the post credit scene?
All right, so the mid-credit scene is like um, uh, Elon Musk wearing a gimp suit and me like whipping him in front of like a king-size bed.
And the end credit scene is just going to be just like what your space
Um,
whales are doing, just like the life of a space whale
you
after.
know, you know what it's gonna be? Um, Hold on. I gotta figure out this guy's name first. Okay. So at the end, it's just gonna say in memory of Stockton Rush. Stockton Rush, for those of you who don't know, is the CEO of Ocean Gate, which
Started this whole
the
conversation.
Titan submersible is the Ocean Gate Titan submersible. So it's gonna be in loving memory of Stockton Rush, but we're going to like digitally bring him back like Paul Walker,
Yeah.
and he's going to be a character in the next 10 movies.
Oh yeah, because obviously you have to rebuild the world on Kevlar 138.
Yep. Are you kidding me? This movie, this franchise was so lucrative, we moved stars. You think I'm gonna stop? No, I grew gills in real life.
Yeah.
This isn't a game to me.
Yes,
James
we made.
Cameron
Yes,
is
we
the
made
Darth
these.
Vader
Yes, we made
to
these movies,
my
but
Emperor
everything is
Palpatine.
real.
Yes. At
These
this
are
point,
these are
I
just
have
documentaries.
genuinely become I've I have become Zua in real life. Much like James Cameron has become the Na'vi in real life.
That's unreal.
And James Cameron is going to be the Darth Vader to my Emperor Palpatine. And at the end, James Cameron. No, that there's too many different endings. I like the original ending with the space whales turning against me and Jake Sully being the catalyst for that. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
Um, we've been on this rabbit hole for 2 hours, or almost an hour and a half. So this entire
it's
episode is just one rabbit hole, and we still
it's
have at least four things to talk about.
yeah, I mean, let's be honest, we if you thought we were going to get to every single topic, you're out of your goddamn mind.
I
That
absolutely
but
thought we
this
were going to get to every single topic today, and then we just
this
fucking exploded into a
this
story.
this has to be like the greatest like sidetrack of all time.
I
We
think it
just
might,
created an entire cinematic universe
without
with
even trying to.
backstories and characters and themes.
We fleshed a whole idea out into a multi-year project,
This is
a
this is going to
generational
be
project.
something that's going to be made. I mean, this is if I could go back 2 hours and tell myself the journey that we've been on, I certainly wouldn't have believed it. 2 hours ago,
It's
I
all
was talking
actually,
about
this whole entire thing stemmed off of a hypothetical question you brought up. Can I,
yeah,
a single man, get to the bottom of the ocean in a hamster ball?
this is like the this is kind of like this is the butterfly effect. This is like what if that soldier in World War One had shot Hitler instead of letting him go? What would the world look like today? What would the world look like today if we had not introduced space whales to this world?
I think Star Wars already introduced space whales.
The fuck is this? What space whale was in Star Wars?
I'll
Are
tell you.
the navigators in Dune are kind of like space whales, I guess. Space navigators.
They were in
Well, they're
Star
but they're
Wars.
people, but they
They
kind of
were in
resemble
Star
whales.
Wars Rebels. They were in The Mandalorian. And they will be in the Ahsoka show upcoming. They're called Purgils.
Dude, the name
And it
space whales is so cooler.
it
So much
really
cooler.
is. So let me.
Do you have a picture of them?
Yes, that's what I'm getting into.
Shit.
Um,
Can't believe space whales are a thing. I have it already
so
visualized in my head.
here's a here's one of two space whales.
Okay, that's a fucking sperm whale mixed with a giant squid. That's literally a sperm whale mixed with a giant squid,
Um,
which is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, they're arch enemies and they've evolved to
and
become the same
here's
creature. I kind of
uh
respect that.
here's how they looked in the
We must begin tests
Mandalore.
immediately.
Here's how they looked in the Mandalorian, uh, where it's in time in light speed, but you only see them outside of the light speed in their own light speed.
What the fuck are you showing me?
Those dark shadows, those
That
are the
that
space whales outside of light speed.
no, that you just earlier today you pointed your phone at the sky, you moved it and took a picture. That's what that is.
Is that what this is?
I could recreate that in a second tomorrow morning.
Okay,
You're gonna
so
tell me that's a multi-million dollar production?
here's what it is. Here's the Mandalorian's ship in hyperspace. This is hyperspace, and
That's literally
those dark
a
shadows,
crow.
this dark shadow right here, and this dark shadow right here. This is the head of a space whale, and that is the body of a space whale compared to one Mandalorian starship.
Okay, you know what? I was kind of worried before that we couldn't get away with space whales because it's already a thing, but now I'm more confident than ever. Those are not space whales. Those are blurry clouds
Then
and a drunk and that's like that thing. That's not a ship. That's me jumping off a roof drunk pretending to be Batman.
what do you call when the group of Purgil whales um took out a star destroyer?
Show me a picture. What is this from?
Star Wars Rebels.
Is that animated?
Yeah.
Okay. Those whales have tentacles. That is at least half squid.
They're
In my
they're
head,
Purgils,
what I'm
and I don't know what
picturing
the fuck so
are they
a,
is it
a,
technically like are they like canon called space whales, or is a purgil its own thing?
a Purgil is its own thing. There is no
Good.
canon space whale.
Oh, there is now, baby.
A space whale in Star Wars is called a Purgil.
Okay.
Based
Well,
off
in
this
this
wiki,
world,
based off this, a
we have giant
Purgil
space
is
sperm
a
whales.
massive whale-like creature that lives in deep space, traveling through star systems. They inhale gas, Cluzon 36, which gives them the ability to travel into hyperspace.
That's cool. Um,
You just trained them by hand.
See, in my head, what I'm picturing is a fading shot slowly heading away from Earth, and then you see a picture gradually getting bigger, and it's just 12 massive sperm whales
It's going to be like
with
the
anchors hooked to them, towing the Titanic, with me on the top, going like this.
okay. So it's going to be
I'm
like
no I
the
am no longer worried about I don't even remember the name of them because they're not space whales.
Purgils.
These will legitimately be called space whales and they will be
Purgils.
space whales.
So it's going
Just
to be like
giant
the
sperm space whales.
so
And
what
they're
you
moving
picture
in space like
of
they
your
would under the water.
you picture your space whales appearing on scene for the first time, like Adam Warlock's appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Now the first time, well, I mean,
with the
as space
soundtrack and
whales,
everything.
technically yes, but the first time that I have them showing up on screen is when somebody says no to the post notifications. And we have a tense
Hmm.
moment of suspense, and then he shows up out of the darkness and just swallows up
I think
somebody's
that's when he
sphere.
shows up. He shows up like the Adam Warlock does, and you have that
And
song.
then, yeah,
You have the song playing as just like in the distance, the guy's looking. He's like, what is that? And then just the
yeah,
whale just gets closer and closer with
yeah.
that
We're gonna
song.
there's gonna be a Jaws cameo. He's gonna be looking around. He's gonna see a shape in the water. He's not gonna know what it is. And then there's gonna be a moment of silence. And then the score goes from I don't know what the score is gonna be, but I'll just use the Jaws score from John
Just do
Williams in
the
that scene. It's gonna be like donut, 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 and then quiet, and then from
just
behind.
do the song, do Crazy on You from Heart. It'd
I
be
was
perfect.
thinking Crazy
Picture it.
Bitch by Chuck Berry, Buck Cherry.
Oh, this isn't it. Wait, is this the acoustic version? Oh, what is
That's
this?
definitely not what we're looking for.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is this? That's not what
I
I'm
don't know.
thinking
I need
of.
something that's gonna complement the little pink trail of blood that the then sea whale is going to be having trail behind them. I can't wait for them to turn into space whales, though. That's gonna be so cool.
Trying to find the what's the name of
What
the
song is
song?
this?
That's what I'm trying to find.
You gotta think. Do you know any lyrics from the song? Do you know what era the song is from? Do you know anything about the song? Is the song
I
real?
might. Yes, the song is real. I
All
gotta
right, we're on to
find it.
something. for this
Okay, I
dead
think
air.
I've got it. I think I got it.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna read
Okay.
another grocery list.
No. Okay. So it is. So this is it. So this is. So you'll hear it pick up. Here's this. He's looking into the ocean, and he just sees this space whale getting bigger and bigger. And it's still getting bigger. Then you don't hear the lyrics because the song cuts out because it eats the guy. But
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. You're gonna have to send it to me.
you didn't hear it at all.
No, I didn't hear anything. Try to hold it on the other side of the microphone because
Okay.
that's the side that receives it.
Can you hear this?
How high do you have it?
All the way up.
I'm hearing nothing. These mics
Okay.
really only pick up the voice. Holy shit.
So
I've also been Skylar Giselle this whole time. God
okay.
damn it.
So what you could do now is go to look up the song "Crazy on You" from Heart and start it at the 31-second mark and picture very, very far away. You see a little something, and it just gets bigger and bigger at the center of the screen.
From the brewers of Summer Shandy, Juicy Pea.
Can't play an ad in the middle of this. That would be bad. Okay, how many seconds in?
31.
Can you hear this? How about now? That's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the one.
It just starts off small and just
It's
gets
perfect.
bigger and
Oh,
bigger and bigger.
I can already hear it. And then as soon as the song hits its fucking mark, as soon as it gets into its sprint, boom, credits directed by whoever. It's perfect.
Yes. So this is what this
This
is what
point, so
inspired what I was thinking of. So this was
little.
what I'm sending you right now. This was Adam Warlock's introduction scene
Oh,
into
I
Guardians of the
remember.
Galaxy 3. And it's the most best
Oh,
it's
okay, I remember seeing this. Yeah.
it's great.
Oh, it's good. This would be a perfect like split at the end of the episode right to directed by whoever black screen as soon as it goes into boom, boom, no, 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 no. And then people are just like, dear God, when is the next episode? Is the next episode, you son of a bitch?
Yeah.
It's perfect. Oh
That's
yeah, that's
great.
the one. We're going with that one.
Fuck yeah. All right. Do we have
I
anything else to talk about?
We have so many other things to talk about, but we have no time to talk about them.
We have no time to talk about them. We may
The, I
we may get to something next week.
you know what this episode is like? This is like the kung fu episode of Barry.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, out of
The fucking blue.
this this was out of the fucking this was out of the shrooms drawer.
This was, dude.
This is gonna be
I'm gonna have such a fun time trying to just like create a thumbnail for this video.
oh the or intro or the exit has to be crazy on you. We gotta figure out some way to do that.
I will. I think I will. I think
Like as
I'll
soon as
make it the
I think
outro.
there would be an incredible way to close the episode. Like as soon as we say, "All right, have a good one," boom, no, 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 no,
Mm-hmm.
and then we create like a CGI sperm whale floating through a Google Earth picture of space.
Oh, I can do that. So what I'll do is I'll just match the sounds up, the sound of the timestamps of the song to when we say our goodbyes. and get it perfectly. So, Zach, why don't you end this episode for us, and it'll go to the tune of "Crazy on You."
Oh, all right. Let's see what I got here. How do you close out an episode like this? All right. I'll say thank you for watching. Everybody who stuck with us through this episode. And David Zaslav, if you're watching this, Herman Melville's coming. And he's coming to chomp your ass. And that's it.